This is Tim McMahon with the Lean Journey blog. One of the things that I'm proud to see in the Lean community is the willingness for people to share their stories, their journey, their knowledge. In 15 years that I've been blogging, I've been happy to meet a number of different people. And so I started a new series that I started several years back, revisiting something called a Meetup, where you get to hear from different, lean voices and influencers in the community. So happy today to have Ron Pereira, who's the managing director and co-founder for Gemba Academy. And so we'll get to hear from Ron and see how he thinks lean is going in the community and hear his take on things today. So happy to have you here, Ron.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.
So maybe if you want to just tell us, about yourself, your organization, and maybe what your current interests are in lean.
hmm Yeah. So as you mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders of Gemba Academy. So we produce, it's basically Lean and Six Sigma training, and we do that in a variety of ways. We've got a lot of videos. That's probably what we're most well known for. But we also do, live instructor training and that sort of thing. We offer various certifications, from various lean certifications to Six Sigma and that sort of thing. So we started a company in March of 2009. So it's been a little while now, I guess. And we started the company. I was actually working in a corporate world I've been in sort of the continuous improvement world for many, many years. And I was traveling around the world teaching people about Lean and Six Sigma and stuff like that, and had a young family. I was always on an airplane. I was like, man, there's got to be a better way. So I started looking back then for videos and that sort of thing. And there was a few. I mean, some of the stuff's around today. It's like voiceover cartoon, I call it. And I just couldn't do it, man. I just can't get down with that style of training. I wanted someone talking to me in the camera, and it just didn't really exist. And so me, John Miller, and Kevin Meyer sort of formed a trio there, I guess. And we started it up in March of 2009, and we've been very blessed, and it's really taken off, and we've been able to help a lot of people around the world. So that's kind of what we're up to these days, and a little bit about the story there.
So how did you get your introduction to lean, and what fuels your passion today?
Mm-hmm. So, while early in my first job out of college was with Motorola, and so they're obviously sort of where Six Sigma was born, was at Motorola. And so I was a young engineer, and interestingly enough, I never actually went through any formal Six Sigma training there, but it was just how we all did our jobs, and it was my first job out of school. So I just thought all engineers ran around with SPC and design of experiments and whatnot. I didn't know any better. I quickly learned after I left Motorola that no, not everybody does this. So they were pretty good and at process optimization, that sort of thing. After that, I went to work for Nokia, another cell phone company who some people may remember. But that's actually where I went through some more formal training. So again, more on the Six Sigma side initially. So your traditional green belt, black belt, master black belt. We had enough lean sprinkled in to be dangerous, but I knew there was more to learn about lean. And so I was searching the interwebs, and it wasn't what it is now, but I stumbled across this website where this guy was writing about stuff, and it was actually John Miller's, who now one of my business partners, but you probably remember, Tim, his original blog, Gemba Pantaray. Remember that? And
Yes.
So he was writing all these articles. And I didn't even know what a blog was back then. It was just some guy writing about lean,
Right.
And I was like, man, it's pretty smart. And he had a consulting company. And so we hired them to come in. I remember we did a value stream mapping, workshop. It's when Learning to See had just come out. So it was all value stream mapping was all the rage. And so we had a successful experience there with John and his company. And so that's how I sort of became friends with John and stayed in touch with him over the years. And so that's where sort of lean was first sort of introduced to me, was actually by John and his company. Wow. And went on to another company called FlowServe after that, and really got into helping. Me and another gentleman deployed lean across that organization. They were more of a Six Sigma organization, and they were trying to get into lean. And so we were sort of spreading that around the world, really teaching people across that company about lean. And that's when I was like looking for videos, like, because I was sick of traveling so much. And so that's sort of my background and how I got into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what would you say the most powerful aspect of lean is?
Most powerful aspect of lean. That's a big question, you know. I mean, I suppose the canned answer is, you know, respect for people, and yeah, very important, right? But I think everybody says that. So I'll try to go a different direction. To me, the most powerful aspect of not just lean, but just really just continuous improvement overall is learning how to think differently. I think that's the most powerful aspect, because, you know, there's a lot of tools and you should learn them all. You should learn lean, you should learn Six Sigma, you should learn theory of constraints, you should learn TRIZ, you should be an excellent project manager, and et cetera, et cetera. You should keep learning and filling your toolbox, if you will.
Right.
And don't get entrenched in the camps, you know, the LinkedIn angry lean camp, and then the LinkedIn angry Six Sigma camp, and they yell at each other. It's like,
right.
First of all, get off LinkedIn, you know, or limit yourself. Like some of these people, I'm like, do you even have a job?
Right. Yeah.
And commenting on every post on LinkedIn.
That's right.
But yeah, learning how to think differently and have an open mind, and always be curious. You know, I think that's the most powerful aspect of really continuous improvement, is being curious and trying to just continuously learn. And I don't mean just learn about new continuous improvement techniques, but whatever your work is, whatever your job is, like learn more about it, like learn your way forward, right? And the faster you can learn, like the companies that are successful outlearn their competition, right? And I think that to me is the most powerful aspect.
So I think a lot of times lean has you know, mystique, or it's misunderstood. What would you say, you know, or some of the, you know, most common, or, you know, most unrecognized or aspects of lean?
Again, the canned answer is probably when people say lean's about waste reduction and Six Sigma is about quality or something like that. That's obviously not true. Both lean is very concerned about quality, and Six Sigma is very concerned about, you know, waste, and, you know, so it's not, again, it's not a competition. But, you know, perhaps when people do, maybe a misunderstood aspect of lean is when people really do sort of get attached to one aspect of it, whether it be a tool or a technique or whatever, and you lose balance. That's probably maybe it's not necessarily misunderstood, but it's done incorrectly. Right? Like you must maintain balance in all things in life. Right? If you get too far to one side on anything, you're probably going to fall over.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest opportunity, you know, for lean today is, and maybe, you know, how can that be accomplished?
Well, I'm very passionate about the whole scientific thinking kind of framework that Mike Rother and his team codified when he wrote the book Toyota Kata many years ago. I really do believe that it is the single most important meta skill that continuous improvement practitioners can learn. I always use the analogy that scientific thinking or Toyota Kata use them interchangeably. It's like a horse, and he's pulling a cart, and the cart has all of our tools in it: 5S, 7 ways, value stream mapping, Six Sigma, all the tools are in it. The horse is but the horse is pulling the cart, and we say, "Hey, horse, you see that beacon out in the distance?" Horse says, "Yeah." They said, "Okay, well, bring us there." So the horse starts walking. Everything's great. It's a beautiful day. All of a sudden, the horse stops. And you're like, "Why'd you stop?" Well, the horse says, "Well, there's an obstacle in front of me." Oh, okay. So you jump off, you go look at the obstacle, and you say, "Ah, I know exactly, you know, what I need to clear that obstacle." Go to the cart, get the correct tool for that obstacle, clear it, get
Yeah.
back in the cart, regain your bearings, and continue on until you hit another obstacle. Then you get the other tool, another tool, whatever it might be. And so what the framework, the scientific thinking framework, is pulling us along. The tools are very important,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's maybe another misunderstood aspect of it is when you say, well, it's about people. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but I can respect people all day long. And if I don't know how to map a value stream, not going
Yeah.
to be real good at lean.
Right.
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 But that's where I think the biggest opportunity is for people to learn how to think scientifically and while continuing to fill up your cart and refine
Yeah.
your cart, get better
Yeah.
at the tools in your cart and practice those things.
Yeah.
But have that balance to allow the thinking and the learning to pull you forward, and then use the tools when you need to clear obstacles that are in your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great insight, great wisdom. Obviously, with lots of years of experience, and so I really appreciate those insights.
Yeah. My pleasure.
I don't know, maybe there's any parting words you say?
No, I mean, I appreciate the opportunity. It's good to see. I remember reading you back in the day,
I
man.
know.
So I'm happy to see you get back in there. And
Yeah,
the more voices out there talking about lean, the better. I think it's fantastic. So
I didn't know I'd make 15 days, and then or 15 years. So that's
right.
all
I
right.
know, man. You're one of the OGs, man. So
Yeah,
that's
but to your
awesome.
point, it's all about continuous learning, right? For
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. So,
great.
but yeah, Ron, I really appreciate your time and all the great insights. So
Yeah,
forward to
my
seeing
pleasure.
more online from you and in the
Okay.
future.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Appreciate the
Appreciate
time.
it.
Thanks, Ron.
All right.